Hi, Paul Slackers, Good News Planet. We're talking to Chef Jeff Anderson. Hey, Chef, how you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you today?
Okay, good. You're going to share some cooking tips and easy recipes for the best fresh and local fall produce. All right, that's good news. Tell us about it.
Well, you know what? Safeway partners with farmers across the country to deliver fresh local produce to our shoppers in the stores. It's really important to understand that, you know, fresh is better and fresh means local. We've got great partnerships with these farmers. We're supporting them, but ultimately what we're doing is we're giving our shoppers great quality produce that they can enjoy in their own kitchens.
How does the word organic fall into that?
Well, we've got organic offerings in produce under the O Organics brand, which is a brand that's exclusive to our Safeway shoppers. Organic is really important, but just as important is the fact that a lot of the produce that comes to our stores is delivered the same day it's harvested, and there's no better way to enjoy fresh tasting local products than that.
And what is it about this? I mean, you know, like a fresh tomato or a fresh, head of lettuce. Why is that so much better than something that's been around for a few days, let's say?
Well, you think about it, it's like it's harvested at its peak of freshness, you know, so it's got great color, great taste, great aroma. Visually, it brightens up the meal. A lot of people eat with their eyes, you know, so this, the first thing you do is you take a look at it, you can smell it, you can see it. It makes you hungry. It just makes the meal experience so much better.
And in certain situations, foods taste, heirloom tomatoes, I think, is like an example, right? They look a little funky, but they're really good.
Well, yeah, sometimes that happens. You know, if you think about things, though, that are in our stores right now, like pumpkins, you know, one of the things that you look for in a pumpkin, and I'm talking about sugar pumpkins, not necessarily carving pumpkins, pumpkins that are meant for eating, is you're looking for pumpkins that have got beautiful color, unblemished flesh to them. You know, the skin should be firm to the touch. Roasting a sugar pumpkin, you know, really enhances the natural sugars that are already in it and make them taste great. But, you know, sometimes they're funky looking, sometimes they're not. A lot of the hard squash have that look to them. But knowing that they're coming to you directly from the farm is really the most important part of it.
Great that you do that, and you're a very large, one of the most large, it's not the largest chain, I believe, here in America. And so you're everywhere, and that's real good. How about like that spaghetti squash? Is that what they call it, spaghetti squash? You know, you scoop that out and you cook it for a bit. Yeah, some of those in the store.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the thing that's neat about most of those hard squashes, whether it's the spaghetti, whether it's the acorn, the butternut, is you can treat them all the same way. If you take, and even the pumpkins, if you take any of those items and put them into a 425, 400 degree oven with a little bit of salt, pepper, and olive oil on them, they're going to roast up nice and tender. And when I'm talking tender, I'm talking like, you know, squeeze it with your fingers and feel that there's a give to it. One of my favorite recipes for any of the items that we're talking about is really, you know, making a risotto with a little bit of prosciutto and some sage. If you're using pumpkins, you can fold the pumpkin into it. That's actually a recipe we have on the Safeway.com site. If you go there, you can look up recipes for the pumpkin risotto. We've got other vegetables, you know, other recipes that we want to share with you. Like you can take those same pieces of pumpkin and you can dip them into minted yogurt. That recipe's on our site. We're talking vegetables right now, but don't forget that there's fantastic apples in our stores right now, like Granny Smith and Fuji and those sort of things. A great salad for this time of year is a crisp apple salad with fresh herb salad mix and some toasted walnuts. Dress it with a little bit of olive oil and some extra virgin olive oil, and you've got a great showcase for that apple.
Oh, my God. You know, I think that a party is the greatest thing in the world. We just had the largest Peace Day party in Times Square, Central Park, and created the largest peace sign out of human beings and so on and so forth. So our dream and we're all focused on creating a party for the world, where every day on September 21st, which is World Peace Day, everybody just has a party, puts down whatever silly things we're all doing, and just has a good time. Well, I mean, you're a party guy, right? You must be.
Yeah, well, you know what? Usually I get stuck cooking for the party. So if I've got to feed that many people, I'm probably going to make a pumpkin soup or something, extend the pot.
Okay, that's wise as well. What do you think about leftovers with food?
I think leftovers are a great way to bring value to a meal. Think about something like we were talking about this pumpkin risotto. If you got leftover risotto, that makes a great lunch the next day. You can take it to work with you, pop it in the microwave. Any of these items, whether it's the squashes, whether it's a kale salad, because you've got leafy greens that are so prevalent in the stores right now at this time of year. Dark leafy greens, whether it's kale, it's chard, those sort of things. Those are a great way to deliver added nutrition. But most importantly, when you see those in our stores, you're going to know that they were harvested fresh and delivered from a local farmer.
Is there any pumpkin pie? Any special thing that you think makes, puts it over the top?
I think that you want to have a great crust. You want to have a great filling. Nothing wrong with canned filling, but to make your own filling from scratch is always fun, and it's really easy to do. If you're gonna top it with some fresh whipped cream that you've hand whipped yourself, that has a little bit of vanilla and some sugar added to it, to me it's like you know where it's coming from. But it all kind of ties that circle together, because if you're buying it, a fresh pumpkin in the store, you know where it's come from.
Oh my God! You're torturing me. But because I should never do this, between the breakfast and lunch, and now I'm starving. Top 10 recipes you have on your website as well. And here's an interesting one: tomato soup. Okay, since tomatoes potentially are a win here locally, roasted red pepper and tomato soup. How do you make a good tomato soup?
Well, I think first you got to start with great tomatoes, and the fact that right now you'll find those late harvest end of season tomatoes still in our store. We just hit fall time, but there's still tomatoes in some of the markets, and that's what I start with because of the fact that the onions are so great right now. I like a nice roasted onion. A little bit of stock, whether it's a vegetable broth, maybe like we have in our stores from Organics. I think that those are probably the three most important steps to it. Having great people to cook it with and great people to share it with is probably what makes a big difference. I'm a big fan of soups because they deliver great value and nutrition to the meal. I don't know how you're going to go wrong with any of the fresh produce that's in our stores.
And I love that comment about it's nice to share and to be with a group of friends enjoying the meal. Chef, let me ask the last question. What's good news for you?
Well, if you go to Safeway.com, you can find recipes and tips on how to prepare all the foods we talked about today and get you through a fun and happy fall season.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for sharing.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.